trying to figure out how can you make that balance happen. And for the first part of your career, it's probably going to be skewed to the work side a lot, especially if you're an entrepreneur.
That's right.
But eventually you'll kind of figure out that there's only so many times that you can work 7 days in a row without everybody in your world being like sending the missing persons report out. So you've got to be thinking about how can I maximize what I do, how can I be as productive as I can and still have that work-life balance. And that's hard. And when you're first learning a job, it's almost impossible because you've got to be good at your job. But over time, again, you will learn how to be more productive in your work, and then you'll learn how to leverage and delegate and do those types of things. But there's still no easy answer. You still work a lot.
A good way to know if you've got a good mentor, right, is how you think of somebody is usually how they think of you in the workplace, right? And that was advice that was given to me 3 or 4 years ago, and I've seen it proven true over my career.
You can set yourself up for failure by not giving it your all. If you give it your all and you still come up short, at least you did everything you did that you could do. You controlled your attitude, you controlled your work ethic, and that will pay off later in job interviews.
I had someone tell me one time, financially, live the first year out of college like you did while you were in college. And so for 4 years, you sort of had a net negative where you're basically paying someone else and you see income just leaving your bank account all the time. And you're trying to be extremely frugal and watch your expenses and things like that. And then your first year out, you now get a salary and now you're getting paid all this money and now you've got income coming in. And so if you kind of keep that same mentality of being extremely frugal or watching your expenses and things like that. Because the first thing you're going to want to do when you get a salary or sign a bonus or things like that, you're going to want to go out there and spend it and splurge. And, in some cases you do deserve it, but kind of I like to use the 90-10 rule, like basically splurge on 10% of it and save the other 90%. And so that was one thing that I definitely learned that helped me actually start my business.
You always need to make sure that there's that healthiness of, well, where am I prioritizing my stuff, right? And then you also need to understand that not every email you get is going to be the end of the world for the company, right? And so there are big things that will need your attention, that will need priority, right? But don't feel like just because you have an email at 8 p.m. that you have to respond by 8:30 p.m., right? And as you go through your career, you'll get better at deciphering kind of when is the appropriate time to work late and when is the appropriate time not.
I always tell people the two things that you can control in any situation are your attitude and your actions. Mm-hmm. And so those are the things that you can have that control over.
One of the toughest things for me in our business is trying to establish that relationship of employee and employer, but also some of your, hanging out with some of your friends. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to employ some of my friends and some of my family actually. And it's always extremely hard for us to kind of draw the line between when we're hanging out as friends and then we're also inside a business together trying to make difficult decisions and have sometimes what I would consider awkward conversations. So,
learn from everything you do. Take every day. Work the hardest you have in your life because college is 4 years, but for most people work is a 40, 50, 60 year thing. So learn from everything you do because you'll be able to pull on those experiences when you are 60, 70, looking to retire. Everything will build on top of each other and be beneficial.